Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Link the Best Randomizer Spoiler Log Tournament. Here we have MrScruffNinjaTuna versus Freddeh here in a city we've been actually heatedly discussing it before we get jumped up here. How's it going, folks? I have been Wolflink0370, and joining me on the mic is Hammer Bro. How's it going?
I am infinitely more happy to be watching this seed than playing it, because as my buddy over here, Wolflink, mentioned, we've been arguing about routing this seed for the last about 12 and a half minutes now, and yeah, I'm not sure we've fully reached a consensus right now, so I don't envy either of our runners at all.
So, folks, I'll give you guys a brief overview of what we've got going on here in terms of the standings. MrScruffNinjaTuna lost to Pika Pals in week 1 of our Swiss settings, but has defeated Tabbycat, Birds505, and Rampant Revenant in the following weeks. So he has now gotten to 3-1. This does put him in a position in which he can potentially move on. Meanwhile, Freddeh has defeated Sue14, Active Ogre, and Amarith in the first 3 weeks, and his first and only loss was to Arier last week in week 4. And to give everyone a brief idea of what a spoiler log seed is, basically, our runners have a seed in their hands and they get to plan a route around it.
Yep, you get 15 minutes with the spoiler log. It tells you everything you need from the 216 item locations to the tree pulls and the rupee crab drops. Also tells you the stun prize, obviously what all your dungeon rewards are for pendants, crystals, the 5-6 crystals, the entry requirements for Mire and Turtle Rock, which, as you can see by the tracker below, everything's already portioned out for us nicely. In addition, our runners are both allowed to either watch the restream or watch each other's stream if they so desire.
Yes.
So it's a little more like an NMG run in that regard. We should be underway in just a moment here, and this is where the fun's going to begin, because I'm still not sure how they're going to fully route this.
Going to Link's house and getting this armor here, which is going to make Ori there completely blue, and that throws me off so much, seeing that coloration.
I'm pretty sure the Bloomba is a bit different as well.
Yes. So, another thing to keep in mind about the spoiler log race, because the runners know everything else, this is more of a skill-oriented and less so of a luck-oriented run. There is a little bit of luck involved as they get 4 bombs here. That's a great source of bombs right there. But
yeah, that solves one of the big questions you have early game is where are my bombs and where are the rupees that I need initially? Sorry.
Yes. But the main question is, as we get the power glove here, how many safeties are our runners going to take? Because death is fairly common in a spoiler log because you know where the heart containers are. You're not going to be picking too many of them up to save as much time as possible. This is basically energy percent with a randomizer constraint. To apply to it.
Yeah, that is a good point. The main tightrope that you walk is how many safeties do I need to grab versus how much time do I want to spend on those safeties. And sometimes you get particular safeties that are, you know, our runners' favorites that are just sitting in terrible, terrible locations, so you don't get to see those for that race.
Looks like both of the runners got the armor in the first house in Link's house, which is really good. Looks like they're both heading down here to South Shore in the Mini Molder Cave. Looks like there's something Mr. Scruff wants to pick up in the dam, though.
Yep, a quick stop here, whereas Freddeh is going straight for Mini Molder Cave.
An excellent use of bombs here. Gets the double. Nice. And inside Mini Molder Cave, we have the flippers, and the boot, and a heart container as well. Also,
nice. So really, really early boots. That is super nice.
And we get a heart container there for Mr. Scruff as well. Also of note, folks, we are playing on a minor update to the randomizer in which the same quick delay has been fixed, so you're going to see runners doing that a lot more. Also, dark rooms now let us see what the item is.
Yep, so no more grabbing the mitts in the basement maze of pod and not noticing what you got until an hour later.
Yeah, very welcome addition.
Did that happen to anyone else, or was that just me?
I don't know. Waldorf's in the bonk dropping group. Interesting.
I mean, not something we're gonna say no to at this point. And nice early sword.
Yeah, nice early sword. Pretty much all of our ideal items that we want to see are just right there and very early on.
I mean, I wouldn't say no to a flute, and we still need something else for Dark World access or two, so...
Yeah.
I wouldn't say everything, but we're doing pretty well so far.
300 rubies, which if Zora's not required, gives you more than enough money to do anything else to see. And there's the hookshot as well.
That's a pretty nice set of items. Not a super whole lot of chests being opened here in Kakariko thus far, but between the hookshot and yeah, we're doing pretty well.
Let's check it out that Freddeh wants. Another heart container, or is it something else? Titan's mitts already.
Wow. So that's pretty massive, actually. Super early mitts and another heart container right along the way. Wow, our runners are doing pretty well with health right now.
Yeah, this seems to be a fairly kinder seed at first glance, at least in terms of the early game.
Yeah, 5 or 6 hearts blue mail, less than 5 minutes in. I wouldn't say no to that.
Not to mention the hookshot also to give yourself that little extra bit of speed.
Yep, and Freddeh following what would probably be the traditional route here. You have your mitts, you have your hookshot, go over to Death Mountain. There's a bunch of stuff over here.
Yep, see just how much is over here. Now with the old man, a very annoying NPC, worst NPC in the game, honestly.
So, are you worried about that green pendant pod?
Not really, no.
I am. Anytime I see green pendant pod, I'm mildly worried.
Spins, hookshot speed. And using the bomb to just get up the stairs just a little faster. Very nicely done. And
yeah, master stair stepper there. That was insane.
Using what little techniques work, as there's our flute.
Alright, cool. So with that flute here, we know that the lamp is down somewhere in Hyrule.
Because we cannot have the mountain locking the flute. It looks like Freddie's going to do a save work to the old man just to get down the mountain a little bit faster.
Yeah, like you had mentioned before, without that delay there, that's almost definitely the faster way. So good call.
Over to the east side.
That's not surprising. There are, what, 8 chests over here? And if we can get our hands on the hammer, there's a couple more with Hera.
Oh, as well. Delicious find right there. And there's something more.
Delicious? I don't know that I would qualify the bow as delicious.
I don't know, alright? I'm not on my right mind here. This seed sprouting was already kind of awkward.
Are you part termite?
Well, I apparently bug people, so... Anyway, moving on.
Oh, 2 drums and a cymbal fall off a cliff.
We got the moon pearl and the fire out there, in case we didn't mention that.
Yeah, so the relatively early seed, just being loaded here, just continues on. And with that, we are headed right into the darkness.
More stuff to find here. Freddie's sticking on the mountain just yet.
It's nice to see someone else get that mixed up. Super Bunny is the left-hand side, Paradox Cave is the right-hand side. I don't know why they're different.
Because Dark World is the opposite plan or something, I don't know.
Yeah, good enough, works for me.
Things here in Hookshot or Super Bunny? No, just getting the full magic pickup.
I'm not gonna lie, that Goomba sprite dashing with the sword out is hilarious to me.
Arcade being entered. Master Sword picked up.
That's a nice early sword.
And Ether as well, which we need for both Mystery Mario and Turtle Rock. Great haul there. And Master Sword is going to help a fair bit with the combat going forward. Especially considering we haven't fought a single boss yet.
Yeah, that's fair. If we can get our hands on Tempered before we have to go too far in the boss fighting category, that would help even more. But Master Sword allows for, especially for some of our later bosses, less drawn-out fights, we'll say.
And just as a reminder, when this is a spoiler log race, they know what's in all the chests, so they're just gonna open the ones they need.
You know, I feel like saying they know what's in all the chests is a bit extreme. They have approximate knowledge of some of the chests.
Yeah, they know what they need is. And everything else they don't really care about. All the random arrows and bombs in the chest, they all do one thing: junk. Heading to Meyer to start things off.
Well, we can't complete it unless we get our hands on a cane of some Mario somewhere. And even so, that would not be a good first dungeon. Ooh.
I think it's just Meyer Shed. But for what? The mirror. And the red boomerang so they can use the stun. Either that or that's purely for menuing. But Freddie's not done here just yet.
Well, we can full clear it.
We can indeed full clear desert. Might as well. And with Fire Rod and the bow, pretty straightforward dungeon here. Although, we should mention, no arrows for that bow just yet.
Depending on where Freddeh has to go for keys and the like, he's going to run across at least a couple of pots with arrows underneath them, like this one right here, which, nope, we're skipping by that one.
Yeah, it makes some sense not to pick that up. Get it on the return trip. Although, knowing...
I just figured you'd mirror out.
Yeah, I was about to say that. And another feature of the spoiler log race, if you missed it, is that runners can watch each other's feeds unlike normal randomized races, and even watch the restream. As a matter of fact, I see MrScruffNinjaTuna there in chat.
Yep, and if you're really insane, you can comment in chat while you're trying not to die.
Gina has something. What is Mr. Scruff getting? Tempered sword.
The bacon blade lives again.
So based on that location, I'm going to make a prediction here, and I'm not trying to sway any routing here by saying this either. I think Freddy's routing is to do desert first, and then upon leaving desert, go get the tempered sword. Because the mastered versus tempered fight against Ganon is just so huge. You gotta pick it up.
Oof, that's actually kind of rough. Freddeh probably wishing he had the bacon blade right now because the fire rod shots kind of went awry. Like you said, we don't have a whole lot of arrows.
Nope, and choosing to save them as well. Gotta return on the investment though if he chose to make one. But that is the first crystal of the match, and we're only not even 15 minutes in.
Yeah, that being said, I'm pretty sure we're only sitting at like 3 items required for Go mode on top of that.
Saying in fact that Freddeh will be getting the Tempered Sword. It makes sense, you're already in desert, you might as well go get it before you leave. Otherwise you're abandoning it for the rest of the run.
Right, or at least until you come back and do Mire, and then if you're doing that, again, why wouldn't you just grab it on the first go? Alright, so for Go mode, we're looking at an Ice Rod, a Hammer, and a Cane of Samaria, if I'm not mistaken.
Ice Rod, Hammer, Cane of Samaria. Technically the lamp, but eh. We don't need the lamp these days. These runners are pretty high skilled.
I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure with our 2 3-in-1 runners, that lamp is just optional. As Freddeh pulls off the... I don't even know what the heck you do for that. All I know is it looks really cool.
I think he's using the bomb to minimize the speed cap loss on the stairs, which is a fairly decent strat. I've seen people like do some sort of poke strat in which they somehow magically lose all of the speed reduction on the stairs.
So, oh, that's a terrible spot for that hammer. Come on!
Yeah, that one was locked behind the mirror.
And that is done! Bye!
That's all Freddeh came up the mountain for. Because with that, it opens up the rest of the dungeons that we still have left to do. Swamp, well, not really Skull and Thief Sound, but we can get those taken care of relatively quickly.
Shoutouts to Dark Diplomat and chat, our tracker, who's also being a smart butt. We appreciate the vote of confidence.
And yeah, I'm inclined to agree with chat here that the hammer will be a last occasion. Freddeh is using this opportunity to go into Swamp to pick up the cape. That is actually fairly smart.
Yeah, the cape, not strictly speaking, required for anything at this point, unless we have an Ice Rod or a Cane of Samaria sitting on the bumper ledge. So, might as well grab it.
Well, even then, that goes again to what I was talking about earlier about safeties and if a runner feels safe in picking something up. In this case, the cape for both runners is a safety for Ganon so that they can be a little bit more aggressive in phase 2 without consuming that much magic. However, they're only going to have, at this point in time at least, normal magic meter, so they're either going to want a green potion bottle or just be really conscious of the magic drain while they're fighting Ganon.
Wow, super. So, MrScruffNinjaTuna over here, hopping into something that Freddeh skipped. Accidental bomb grab there.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. And inside is a blue potion bottle. That's actually a good pick on this, another safety. And the big key leads to a heart container rather. which again is another safety and puts us up to 7 hearts, which, if I recall correctly, that puts us on the safe threshold from getting hugged by Ganon.
You are correct. Blue male Ganon hugs are 6 hearts, if I'm not mistaken. So they hurt, but not quite enough to take you out in one shot. Nicely done.
There's the ice
Nice
rock.
ice rod. Alright, so where's that game to Mario?
Well, this is the other 5-6 dungeon, and he prioritized this first. That could mean that it's on Pyramid Fairy.
That could be. That's fair. But it could be pretty much anywhere at this point other than TR.
Well, if we metagame this a little bit, he had the opportunity to go into Misery Mire after getting the mirror, but instead beeline for the hammer. So again, if we metagame this a little bit, we can read into the fact that we need the hammer for the Cane of Samaria, and the only dungeon that requires it currently is Swamp.
It could be on Helmasaur.
It could be.
It could also technically be an Ice Palace. That is an option. Or Thieves Town Big Chest. I mean, I can keep going.
Yeah, there could be quite some stuff here. We'll see where Freddeh goes here.
Plus, it's kind of hard to metagame when you have the spoiler log. Just want to throw that out there.
That's true, but chat can read into the moves here as well. And they do not have the spoiler log.
That is fair. Uh-oh.
Super Bomb is the play. Runners at this point in time do have the cape. Freddeh is taking or Mr. Scruff has taken a little bit of extra time to get some extra states, like a bottle. Well, but other than that, both runners are pretty much neck and neck. Uh-oh. Okay, Freddeh is successfully bomb duped.
There's always that moment of, like, fear before you actually successfully do it. You're like, am I gonna get there? I'm gonna laugh so hard if there's a fetch quest in here.
Oh, mode. At less than 21 minutes.
You don't have a bottle, Freddeh.
21-minute go mode for Freddeh. Now, I think they would like another bottle. I'll say that much. I think Freddeh, or rather, if I was in Freddie's shoes right now, I'd be on the lookout for another bottle.
Yeah, but to be fair, if either of us were in Freddie's shoes right now, we wouldn't be 3-1, so...
That's also true.
I mean, I feel like if we can get our hands on the lamp for, like, the Mired Dark Rooms, that's gonna be pretty good. You know what I mean? I feel like the big thing is the Mired Dark Rooms.
I'm looking a little bit further ahead than that. I'm looking at the Ganon fight and using the cape to just really lay into phase 2 and just absolutely get that done in one cycle no matter what. And in that regard, that is a fairly heavy magic consumption with the cape, and we may not have enough magic at this point with our current equipment to do that safely.
That's a good point. Either way, that's a bit down the road, so I feel like if there's a bottle around, Freddie's gonna go ahead and grab it, or he'll just grab something else like half magic. Because that would solve our problems too.
Well, there's our lamp.
Yeah, there's that lamp I was talking about.
So, magic may not be a huge issue for the Ganon fight now. Could burn about maybe half the meter, and still have plenty of magic left to get the torch glitch going for what we currently have is a silverless cannon fight.
Yeah, that's another thing. If there's a bow around here somewhere along the way, then it's not going to be a huge deal either, because you need minimal amounts of magic for that.
We do have a question about how many games in Swiss. We are on game 5 of Swiss, and we are going for 7 games in our Swiss brackets for this league. Top 8 will move on, and I believe 3 and 1s are in contention currently for a spot. I believe it's people with a 6-1 bracket score can get in. I think 1, 5, and 2 can get in, and the rest are just 8 and 0, 7 and 0s rather. The Armos knife fight for both of our runners.
Yep, and at only 24 minutes, this is going to be Freddeh's third crystal, so far so good.
Yeah, MrScruffNinja is right on his heels, and does have 7 hearts as well. But the main difference here is that MrScruff has that bottle, so if something goes wrong, he can rely on the bottle to heal. Whereas Freddeh, if he messes up and runs out of magic, say on Trinex, that may be a significant time loss there. That will let MrScruff catch up.
Yeah, that is a good point. So right now, Freddeh has the lead, but it's a risky lead. Because, you know, and we've seen it. When you're running through this stuff, like, everything is super low percent. And all it takes is 1 or 2 missed fire rod shots or taking a hit from a couple of pokies that you didn't want to. And you're either really, really low on health or dead. So it's a dangerous tightrope they all walk.
Yeah, spoiler logs are, by the sheer format, they're basically what any percent would be if we weren't forced to pick up heart containers on the dungeon hearts.
That's a good point.
Of course, we're also using no merger glitches as well, but our own variation of rules allowed, which allows us to do things like, as you saw, the diver down in Swamp earlier, as well as, well, we aren't going to see Icebreaker today, but we do get a lot of small tricks like that would normally be not allowed in a normal no major glitches run of Link to the Past.
Yeah, we add a couple extra things just mainly because they're super fun to watch. And because no one wants to do Ice Palace without Icebreaker. Well, the God Pixel was lined up, and then there was a patch restart.
Yeah, those Gibos are very annoying enemies when you get down to it. Very random.
Yeah, and the invulnerability that half of their sprite has to the sword during most times is just really annoying.
Yeah, the trick with Gibos is you have to hit their nucleus, but their nucleus is only vulnerable when they're about to start moving. Meanwhile, MrScruff has defeated the Armos Knights. Didn't get a quick kill off, but that's okay.
Got a little divergence here. I guess you could say I admire the difference. Use the hammer on the frozen bird.
Bird in the water.
No, I want the hammer.
There we go.
Oh. I'm gonna have to enter a tournament and lose every single race because I'm bad, just so I can use the hammer on the bird every chance I get. Pretty nice Meyer room there.
Yeah, Scrub starting with Meyer instead of Stevestown.
I mean, at this point, with everything here, unless there's a nice safety in one of these dungeons or the other, because outside of Blind, there's nothing in Thievestown. We'll see about Meyer in just a moment. It doesn't really matter.
Blind is a fairly difficult fight if you're not paying attention to a set pattern. It's away from Freddeh a little bit, but they only have one hit left.
Blind is the fight that, upon initially playing this game, you're like, oh my goodness, this fight is terrible. And then upon, like, learning the speedrun of this game, you're like, why did I spend so many years having difficulty with this fight?
At the end of the day, I used to just get the cane and burn and just say, hi, Blind, I have your weakness.
That's a good point. If you can get your hands on half magic, especially, it is a free fight. Just trace the blind, and you're done. I did not anticipate a mirror there, but there is something sitting here in the forest.
A bottle!
An empty one. Okay.
Ah, I see what Freddie's gonna do then. Alright, that's the safety Freddie needed. Good routing choice there. Because once Freddie is done with Skull Woods, Freddie can opt to flute to 2 before fluting to 6 to go into Meyer. And we'll have that potion bottle for Meyer, if he so chooses. And then you can do it again, and take that detour and go fill it up with a potion before Trinex and Ganon's Tower.
I'm not sure if that with the initial fill up would be less time than just grabbing the one on the hype game, but I feel like it's probably 6 and 1/2 dozen really.
Make sure you set the shovel. I mean, it's good for picking up consumables, but that's another time sink, and you don't want to do that here. But I think the bottle Freddie got was better. Because it was on his routing. He didn't have to go on a detour just to go get it.
Playing somewhat annoyingly, but in the end, not too bad.
So at this point, Mr. Scrub is a full dungeon behind Freddie.
Yeah, about a dungeon and a half, honestly.
Freddie, where are you going? Flute to 2 to fill up the bottle.
That makes sense. Picking up an empty bottle would be worthless without filling it up anyways.
Potion, and this will be a flute to Meyer to finish the dungeon. That dungeon's not going to last very long.
Yeah, no. With that big key sitting right there, this is going to be as in and out as Meyer ever gets. Wait, hold on. I'd like to point something out. We had a God Meyer, and there was nothing in Meyer that we actually had to get. Is that a first?
I think it's been a first for me, but it has been a fair while since I've seen a Meyer that we can truly go mode. Oh!
That's why you pull out the hammer, dang it!
Freddie wanted the toss. I think that because Freddie was going for it. I think that was something tells me that was a gentleman's agreement between the two to chuck the bird when they saw ether.
Potentially. We also did see in chat that that Freddeh does watch, just doesn't listen apparently, which with my voice, I don't blame the guy. So it could be that he saw MrScruffNinjaTuna do the bird toss and just said, well, I'll do one too then.
There's lurking around in the chat. Freddie knows he's ahead by a good amount too, just from that alone.
Yeah, you see Freddeh's comment in chat. We are not doing the hover today, unfortunately.
Alright, MrScruff's about to enter his blind fight. Only have 4 hearts. We'll see if MrScruff can get the pattern here. We hit the poke blind as soon as he spawns. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Slide to the right here. Dodge that like that. 1, 2, 3. That is slightly off, but it should be fine.
Yeah, it was late on the second swing, I think. Nice third pattern there, though.
Recovery from that.
Alrighty, so this is going to be Vitreous and Freddeh's 6th crystal. Not really a whole lot of magic to work with. The eyeball's kind of getting in the way of that swing. But it's not going to be enough to finish off Vitreous on the fairness. Oh, just about. Never mind.
8 arrows to finish off Vinny. MrScruff still needs to go through Skull Woods here. But that is crystal number 6. It is time for Freddie to climb the mountain for the 3rd and final time to go into Turtle Rock.
Yeah, and 3 climb mountains aren't something you see very often in a spoiler log.
No.
I mean, just thank goodness there wasn't anything in Turtle Rock that we had to do a 4th climb for.
Well, there is something we need in Turtle Rock, though. The 7th crystal. Which, I will divulge this much about that crystal. That is actually a vanilla Crystal 7 inside Turtle Rock.
I didn't notice that. I don't look at anything other than the 5, 6s, honestly.
We've got the 7th crystal coming up here for Freddie. And MrScruff's about to pick up the 6th. So I'd say we're gonna time this based on when Freddie enters or puts the ether. Yeah, we're gonna have to time this when Freddie calls down ether on Turtle Rock to see where they are.
The storm.
So the routes are about to converge, and Freddie is definitely in the lead, but by how much? Calls down ether at 37 minutes 8 seconds. Whew, this is looking to be a sub 50.
It depends on the GT big key, though.
We'll get to that in a little bit, though. It's me we're talking about here. Alright. Turtle Rock is pretty straightforward, honestly. There's not much they can do to speed this up. They still need to get at least 3 small keys and the big key. And the keys can be distributed in such a way that they have to get the last key on Laser Bridge. Oh no! That is the worst timing! That is about maybe 5 seconds lost right there, getting back around.
See, the rule about the enemies here is don't swing your sword at them while you're on the platform, because they can knock you off. But if it hits you right as you run into a station, you can get knocked off anyways, and that just feels terrible.
And the time is 38:34, so about a minute and a half behind at this point in time between ether summons. Freddeh did lose a little bit of time to that drop down in the central pit.
Yep, and although GT routing is not necessarily going to play a role, there's still the gauntlet. And Moldorm! Moldorm 2 is fun.
And even then, Ganon may get a lucky hug on their opponents or catch them off guard with a fire bat, and they could just fall off the stage or just die. It's still anyone's race. This is actually fairly close.
Speaking of lucky hits, we are sitting.
Oh no! Freddeh, get out of there! Run! Oh, that left change hop could have easily bit Freddeh, and that would have been the end of that.
In this pokey right here. Okay.
No, that pokey's moving in a good pattern.
Yeah, but it's not always, and you walk in there blind most of the time.
Yeah, pokies always move in a diagonal direction, but the direction they move in is completely determined as soon as you slow them up.
Oof, MrScruffNinjaTuna.
Expected outcome here. Something is in the big chest. I don't think we saw the big key yet, did we?
Nope. Vanilla big key. Looks like we're gonna need all 4 keys today.
Yep.
Yay. Hopefully there's no small key in the big chest, and we won't at least have to worry about that.
Hang on a moment. We've got a development here. Mr. Grove's now in the change out room. 3 hearts. A hit will kill him. Oh, there it is!
That's your fault.
I saw it coming.
You said it! You didn't have to say it, dang it! You could have just let the poor man be, but no.
Alright, I'll accept the curse.
Between these chain chomps and these pokies, we're taking Super Mario enemies and putting them in Zelda. With the amount of damage they do, you can understand why Mario dies in just a handful of hits.
Yeah, those change shots do not mess around. They do almost as much damage as Ganon. In fact, they... Oh, there we go! Oh, down goes Mr. Scruff again. Yeah, they hurt for a lot of damage. They are the second highest damage source in the entire game.
Which is ridiculous, honestly. There's 2 of them in the whole game. What are you doing? Like, why would you do that?
Eats up about 2 minutes of time, I'd say, for Mr. Scruff. That gives Freddeh a nice, comfortable lead here. But Freddeh can't be complacent, and a death at the top of the tower could take all of that time back and then some.
You don't even need a death. That despawn is always scary.
You mentioned the despawn. I have yet to see it happen, mind you.
Really? I've done it twice. It's the worst feeling in the world.
We're trying to get cursed. Anyway, folks, we're getting close to the 7th crystal, and you know what that means.
No, wait, hold on. I don't know. What's that mean?
We'll get to it in a little bit.
Come on, it's not like we have a whole lot of time.
Ah, I suppose you're right. But let's focus on the fight here. And yeah, you know what I'm about to do.
Okay, I focused on the fight. He's dead. Can we go now?
3 spin attacks is all it takes to finish up phase 2. And 1, 2, and a slash. There we go. Alright, folks. Dev Chris is about to be caught, and that means you know what time it is. And chat knows my gimmick as well. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a game we like to play. We have 22 chests in Ganon's Tower. However, the runners know where they are due to this being a spoiler log seed. So instead of a number of chests they open, give us the specific chest or location that you think the big key is in today.
And to those of you who enjoy being trolly, keep in mind, tile room isn't trolly because we won't be checking that last. If you want to be a jerk, it's the vanilla big key room. One of those 3 chests. That's the tile room location.
Center behind Armos, which is the back to vanilla chest. We got some good guesses here.
I'm not sure about that sub 50, unless we get a super early big key here.
Well, we're going left.
You who guessed Hope Room, Compass Room.
Oh, how about you just guess the chores and win?
Wow, okay, cool. I don't ever look at GT, so I had no idea that was there. That's kind of cool.
So this, we have a jet, Ganon's Tower, and based on that alone, I think it's safe to divulge where the fourth sword is. And
Go on.
Would you like to know? No, Hero, where it is? You got your wish. The four swords in the Armos room. Left side. So, given that big key location, and they were not getting the gold sword. However,
talk about something we're not going to see.
I mean, it's okay to divulge that information because neither one is going to go get it.
So how about half magic on pedestal? Or silvers?
Oh!
Or silvers!
I'm gonna cut you off. I'm gonna cut you off on silvers right there, because I want to let the chat guess where do they think the silvers is. Once Ganon tells you the region, I will let you know where they are.
Pretty sure they
Oh,
heard
dang it, they heard it, you.
Sorry.
Ah. Oh well. No big deal.
Alright, so Freddeh going through the set of rooms called the Gauntlet. It is called the Gauntlet because it is a very hard set of rooms. Freddeh is not going to make it seem like a very hard set of rooms. Freddeh lies. This is a difficult set of rooms. This is a public service announcement.
We should have coordinated that a little bit ahead of time. My mistake there. We were too busy discussing how terrible the mountain routing was.
We were racking our brains trying to figure out, is there any way we could do this in 2 climbs? And even if not, is it best to grab stuff the first climb or the second climb? It was just, that mountain really messed us all up.
And the chat is throwing out guesses here, so I guess I did not hear you, so that's actually good for us here. I mean, half magic I was gonna let you slide with. The green, the...
Yeah, way to give that one away!
I slipped! Oh, I swear, my tongue talks way too... My brain goes faster than my tongue sometimes. Alright, yeah.
Killing me, Wolflink. No, Amber, you're not supposed to tell them that the silvers were on the green pendant.
Ah, fail fish.
Anyways, all right, the despawn has been avoided.
All right,
good. Man, and MrScruffNinjaTuna is. Are we getting a? What are you doing? What are you doing?
all right. Oh no. Okay, while we were discussing this, MrScruff took another death.
That was an attempt at quickly clipping the mimics, because yeah,
Oh, it doesn't have arrows.
Well, at least Viddy dropped the shovel.
Yeah, but it's gonna take a lot of time to get.
Well, it will now that you said that.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah, that's pretty much the height of a feels bad.
My thought process has been derailed because of our mutual slip up there involving the Silver's location. Trying to hide it when I failed to hide it.
Yeah, so for those of you talking about the pot, unless you feel like you can clip that first set of mimics, you're going to need 4 arrows to get in there, and MrScruffNinjaTuna only has 1, so you wouldn't have been able to get into that room again. Alright, so we're about halfway into everyone's favorite math test, agonometry, and with that, we're done. Time to go face the day. With 3 hearts.
Right. It's time to fight the pig. I regained my composure a little bit. 12 slashes or 6 spins a phase here to start things off for phases 1 and 2. Freddeh is at a dangerous health total though, as a note. Gotta dodge that trident well.
I mean, in a spoiler
Oh, that
log,
is a good position for phase 2.
Yeah, there is. Is there anything other than a dangerous health total, though, in a spoiler log tournament race?
Full health.
I mean, 8 hearts isn't that great.
So yeah, folks, we're now entering phase 3. Ganon will teleport randomly around the room and stomp the ground if you hit him. He'll also shoot a fire bat spiraling around him if you don't hit him in time. After 4 hits, we'll enter the darkness technique. He'll tell you where the silvers are, which will say Light World. Because we both messed up. I was trying to be sneaky and wait for Ganon to say where the silvers were, but...
Well, sure, but then everyone, if they see that, is going to instantly think pedestal, since you're like, you'll never believe where they are.
Yeah, but no, they are on Sahasrahla today. And now we have to do spin attacks as Ganon teleports away. And we have to do that 12 times to win the fight. With the torches on. For the silverless technique. Now, you might notice something here. If you look closely at Ganon's sprite before he teleports away, he might raise his hands. And that is a 2-frame window, so it's very hard to see. It's very unlikely to see happen. But if you can see it, that is the window you strike for a silverless hit. Spin attacks are more consistent because they just simply have a longer hitbox.
Yeah, you can use slashes if you line it up correctly. It just requires really good timing.
Here we go, folks. These are Jesus and chat for Freddeh.
Whoa, whoa, let the man cross the bridge first. You don't want that on you, do you?
I mean, I've already messed up so much in this one. It's fine. But that crossed the finish line, we have a first place time. So GG's to Freddeh, who crossed the finish line with a time of 1 hour, 6 minutes, 42 seconds. That does include the study period, so his official time was 1 hour, 51 minutes, 42 seconds. Jeez, I can't speak today. And we are now joined by Freddeh. GG's. How's it going?
GG's. Well, you know, that was an interesting seed. Fortunately, a really fast one overall. Like, I think you could definitely sub 50 minutes if you're better than me. But maybe not easily, but you could definitely do it. I had a bit of a... Like, I took a little bit of extra time, mostly because I was watching and knew I was a bit ahead, that I had time to get the blue bottle and stuff. I don't think I ended up using it, but...
If you watched Get GT, we kind of derailed a little bit here, because I was trying to hide the silver arrows, but then I slipped...
Oh, there was
revealed
stuff
early.
in awful locations this seed. Like,
Well,
you
yeah.
immediately look at the seed like, well, not getting half magic, not getting silvers. Okay.
Yeah,
At least we can get 3 swords.
I was trying to be a little bit tricky and not tell him where the silver arrows were, but then I slipped.
Did you tell him where half magic was?
Yeah, we told him where half magic was. It was on pedestal. I was gonna wait for Ganon to say where the silvers were and then tell you the specific location, but I slipped and said green, which gave it away.
Yeah, I kept pod up just in case I had a kind of like powder or something was needed, or I saw anything in there, or I really wanted silvers for some reason.
Yeah, the round
It's not worth doing by itself. But...
Yeah, the round choices you made this year were really good. The bottle in particular was actually something I didn't see coming. But the main thing that me
is kind of audible. Like I was kind of like looking like, am I gonna do this with like 6, 7 blue mail, no bottle, no half magic? Like I could, but I don't know. Like I knew I was ahead, so I decided to take the time to grab the bottle and fill it up.
Okay.
Since there wasn't really any other good bottles on the way. Like there was a green bottle in hair I could have gotten, but that wasn't really.
There was the blue one in Hyperwave.
Yeah, your only mistake that I saw was the first floor of Turtle Rock, in which you got knocked off the platform by the Ari. Or is it Beery? I forget which one.
Yeah, don't remind me about that. That was... I don't know what you... Like, I guess I had to just magically know that they was going to stop exploding right at the time and then turn right into me. Like, I was... That was rough.
Yeah. But yeah, your routing was pretty solid. Also, I want to ask something here, and I think Hammer wants to know this too. The bird.
The bird? I tried to get the bird. The bird wasn't able to be gotten, I think.
Nope.
It got stuck on the ledge.
So I just want to ask this just as sheer curiosity. Did you and Mr. Scrub agree to, if this was an Ether Meyer seed, to just throw the bird in the lake?
No.
If you could? No, you just felt like doing it? Okay.
Just felt like doing it.
This is why this is
it was also another consequence of me watching chat and noticing that he threw it as well.
This is why the superior strat is to pull out the hammer and bash the bird.
That's a fair point. I could have done that. I should have done that.
And then you would have been both on the commentary side, because I saw the bird toss coming. Anyway, great for Ganon right now for Mr. Scruff. Had a little bit rougher, but overall, both of you did fairly well this race.
Yeah, this was an very interesting scene, definitely.
Oh,
like I said,
no! Why did you say something?
Oh.
Why? Stop doing that!
Oh. And Mr. ScruffNinjaTuna has officially forfeited from the race as of that. But GG's to both of them as well. I can understand him saying that on Ganon after the finish comes in. Let's pull him up here. There he is. Mr. ScruffNinjaTuna, GG's to you. Good effort on this race.
GG.
GG's, man. Yeah, it was definitely kind of a light seed. A lot of hearts, but not a lot of other defensive items.
I was gonna say, it's pretty an odd one. I blame my routing for the most part, other than, of course, the chain chomp death. God, that was stupid.
Yeah, I think the only real differences outside of, obviously you did Mire into Turtle Rock, or Thieves Town and Spoilwoods, and I did Mire. I did the opposite order, but that doesn't really matter. I think you looked like you got the bottle early, and
yeah, I did.
I didn't see what you did at the very start of the seed, because I was kind of focused on my route at the start of the seed.
And then I also got the blue goo out of Hype Cave.
Oh, you ended up going to Hype for the blue. That's right, that's where the other bottle was. Yeah, I should have gotten that after Skullwoods. That would have been better than what I did. I forgot that was one there, to be honest.
See, Freddeh agrees with me. Victory.
Yeah, in hindsight, that was definitely the better option than what I did.
Yeah, there was another armor out there somewhere, but I don't think you guys were able to get it.
Zelda cell, I think? Or was that the practice
Bumper Ledge.
Oh yeah, Bumper Ledge.
Yeah.
I wasn't about that one for a little bit, but like, nah, not worth it.
Yeah, not worth it in the slightest.
Well, I thought about it up until I saw where the other mail upgrade was. I'm like, oh, well, never mind.
Yeah, I was like, starting right off the bat with the blue mail. Okay.
I'll take it. Did you do double triple at the start too to boots, or did you go to CAC right away?
Oh no, I went straight to Mini Moldorm. I was like, I want them boots.
Where'd you get bombs from?
Oh, I pulled them from the tree.
Oh, okay, so you did go to Uncle. Gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah, both of you went to Uncle, but I think, Freddie, you did a double, whereas I think Mr. Scruff only did a single.
I don't trust myself to do that in 4 bombs. I was like, nah, I'm gonna do 8.
So yeah, it was just really unfortunate that you both had the deaths, and also really unfortunate because I'm still hung up on the fact I was trying to not tell the chat where the silver arrows were right away after you guys said because I wanted to wait for Ganon to tell them, but I just slipped up.
Yeah, don't tell him where the green. Oh.
Don't tell him where the green pendant has the bow. Don't tell him that.
God, when I read that, I was like, wait, half magic and silvers are out of reach? Freaking man!
Yep.
At least the other 3 swords were pretty good. The fourth one,
Yeah,
on
the
the other
swords are
hand,
nice.
the fourth one, on the other hand, that was a hot garbage.
Oh yeah,
Even-
I ain't getting that.
No, yeah.
Especially when you have a god
gettable.
GC, yeah. I don't think anyone was gonna blame you for not getting the gold sword out of Ice Armos.
Yeah, there's no way. Yeah, it's the only I almost messed up something in routing. Unfortunately, I caught it before the restarted, but I almost went up to the mountain before grabbing stuff in Kakariko to try to just do Kakariko in 1 round. Then I realized I don't have the Moon Pearl, so I can't grab the mirror, so that's pointless.
And you kind of need that hook shot to get over to the right side.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, exactly. Like if Moon Pearl was in Kakariko instead, it would have worked. But because he could have just gotten mirror and then gone straight up to Hera, gotten hammer, and then ran over to East Death Mountain and did paradox and hook shot.
I agree with chat though that this would have been a last location hammer for sure.
Oh, I saw that too. Yeah, I agree. That hammer and mirror locations are just the worst.
Like,
Well-
needing the hammer for progression is a terrible feeling, because you can walk into, like, pretty much every dungeon. You just can't complete very many of them.
Yeah, that's a very unfortunate thing. At least our lamp was
Yeah.
fairly on the way. Most of our good items were on the way as well, with the hookshot and everything else. Really?
Yeah, it was a really fast seed. Like we both finished, almost finished under an hour. Like
I don't
Not
know
they're
why
almost
this
under
game
50.
sucks so bad.
I swear, 8 Hearts Blue Mail is cursed. I was doing a practice seed a couple days ago, and I
Right?
literally died on the climb on GT climb after using a blue bottle with 8 Heart Blue Mail. And then this morning I was practicing and did the full climb with 6 Heart Green Mail, no safeties. Like, I don't understand. It's cursed.
I just blame being so out of practice. I haven't played in weeks. Oh, okay, I take that back. I played last week, but I don't
Other
play as
than
much
race
as I
last
should.
week, yeah. Yeah, fair enough.
Well,
It's-
cheers to both of you as well. So, Freddie, you are now going 4-1, very much in contention to get one of those top 8 spots.
Yeah. I just need to win one of the next 2 against opponents that are going to be clearly better than me.
And Mr.
Probably.
Scruff, I think I'm not 100% sure here because I don't know how the scoring is going for the 2s, but I think based on your score, I think you're still in contention.
Yeah, 2 losses will get in but it's going to be heavily tiebreaker based. I don't remember exactly the numbers on how many 2-loss teams will get in, but something like 4. And then out of however many, someone's done the math. It's not me. But basically, yeah, it's all based on tiebreakers for 2 losses. 1 loss and 0 losses, automatic.
It's alright. I've seen who's all in the 4-1 bracket, and I don't want to play against any of those guys.
Yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be fine. I'll just, yeah. I mean, I played Area last week, so it can't get much worse than that.
That's like my first my first opponent was Pika Pals. And I'm like, hey,
Yeah.
Pika, how you doing in the last tournament? Pretty good.
Yeah, I feel like I got a little lucky this tournament so far. Like, I've been playing mostly, like, I went up against Ack, but he was also at a practice at that point, so it was
That and it's Ack. I mean, come on.
that and it's Ack. You know, he just does Ack things.
You mean
And then I
like
was up
turning in the
against-
mushroom for a finals race?
Yeah, exactly. And then I think in my 2-0 match, a couple weeks ago, I was against Emerith, which, no offense to him, but I think we both agree we were probably the two worst players in the 2-0 bracket at that point, so I managed to pull that one out. And then 3-0, I got up against Arier, but pretty much anyone I went up against at that point was not going to be good. And then this week, I feel fairly lucky to get you. Like, again, no offense, there's a lot of really scary names, and while I think you're good, I think you're roughly about my level. So.
I was gonna say, at least it's an even match between the two of us, and because of my goofing around, it's like, yeah, this is all right. As long as I don't die, I'm good. That's the kind of thing.
Right?
That's like, for anyone that's willing to go ahead and get into this thing, it's not difficult. I mean, I've only been playing for a year, and you could see that I gave Freddeh a run for his money. Kind of.
I mean, you're 3-1 in this tournament, or 3-2 in this tournament now, and that's no easy thing to do in this tournament. There's a lot of good players in this one.
For actually has someone who's got their eye on the scoring system, it looks like, according to them, at least in chat anyway, it depends on who was the match down games this week, in which one of those is actually tomorrow, in fact. So we'll see about that. In the meantime, folks, in terms of other matches coming on, we do have another 3-1 match for you over on SpeedGaming 2. That will be at 8:15. Surly Club versus Sailor Nep. That'll be a good one to watch. And all of our other matches for across the day are currently restreamed to be determined. But we only have a couple more matches for you tonight. Total, so we'll see about if we can get them restreamed for you guys. But currently, Sterling Lab versus A11 is the only one currently with a restream, and that is on SpeedGaming 2. Also, folks, make sure to follow Freddeh and MrScruffNinjaTuna in chat. They put an excellent race for us to get. Once again, GG's to both of you. And of course, make sure to follow SpeedGaming and SpeedGaming 2 through 6 so you don't miss any racing action, not just the Spoiler Alert tournament. Of course, make sure to also follow my co-commentator Hammer and our tracker that we met. Don't give me a follow. I do not deserve it after slipping up like that. But you can if you want to. I have been Wolfling0370, and from all of us here at the Spoiler Alert tournament, we shall see you all next time. And thank you for watching. Have a good night, everyone.